the platform for the game? Do you guys have a game engine, or do you guys develop?
For this, we used Orbital, developed by
Mind Control Software.
Yeah, Mind Control
Software.
Software. Yeah. And then it's all developed in that PCs. But we're working on a Mac version of it.
Hi. Do you have a mode where you actually get to see them go down the runway?
Well, you can see them up at the top of the runway. The problem with that is we have to do an awful lot of animation, and because we had around 300 or 400 pieces of clothing in the game, we couldn't really animate all that clothing. So it was more like what you do is you get the shot right here when they get to the end, right before they turn around. So we would have loved to have had them walk down the runway and do that little turn, but it was more like, how can we get the most out of the sort of paper drawing, just showing them the clothes. Because all along we knew we just wanted to make as many clothes as possible. That was sort of our mandate with this.
Is there any interaction between two articles of clothing? Do things match or not match each other, or is it just based on the style they're asking for?
That's a good question. That's something that we're, there is some. There's we have in the game there's called fashion dudes, and where it will look at things that are if you've got a polka dotted top on a solid bottom, it'd be patterns go well with solids and that sort of thing. So there's a little bit of interaction there, and not quite as much with actually penalizing you, being wow, that was a really bad choice. And when you put the polka dots with the stripes, and they're that's a little too much. There's a little bit, and then so it's something that we kind of trying to work out. I think we'll probably fix. We're actually working on a newer version of it, and we will do stuff like that. We're going to try and make it so that people feel like they can't just put anything on people, because that was sort of a problem at some point, was that you can kind of dump clothes on people and get points. Yeah.
At any point in development, did you guys consider playing with gender, have a Joe's fashion show, or?
Yeah, originally we were going to have male models in the game, and you were going to put choose clothes off the rack, and because we didn't want to be it forced you to dress anybody in any particular way. That we wanted to make every asset had to be wearable by both types of models, and quickly realized that led to a lot of really ugly clothing. It was basically everything was loose moo-moos. And so we kind of went back and we're all right, for this one we're just going to do females. That's about 80% of the high fashion industry is that. So. And you can just put female clothes on them for now. Although in the sequel we're going to have male levels as well, where you're putting they'll be, and they unfortunately we probably do them so they have to be separated, because it's because you're still only able to put the certain type of asset on there, just because we have to be really careful with the sort of overlay on the body. We don't want them that was really important to us to have this we look at a lot of paper doll things, and bits of the pieces of the people stick out, and that's really kind of unbecoming. So we wanted to make it kind of nice and pretty as possible. So that kind of limited our choices.
If you really like an outfit, can you share it somehow with friends or make it into an avatar?
Oh. Let's see. Yes. Well, you can. There's the dress-up mode here. So then you can. And here you can. Oh, gosh, I haven't unlocked any clothing, have I? Well, here you would, if I had played this, you would have, for a little bit longer, you would unlock all these clothes, and here you could dress them up however you want, and then save it as an image, which you can then export or do whatever you want with. For a while, we had them all tiled in all of our backgrounds at work. It was quite obnoxious. Okay, last question.
I know probably outside maybe budgetary consideration, but was there ever any discussion about using licenses for designers or?
Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, obviously there's a lot of fashion stuff out there now which would kind of lend itself to that, everything from Project Runway to working with actual designers. For us, we wanted to kind of have as wide a scope as possible, and once you start doing that, then it would kind of limit us to having to develop certain types of clothes. And we really wanted to have be able to have this sort of wide a palette as possible. We didn't want to have if we worked with Kmart, then you'd have certain types of things. Or I don't know if Oscar de la Renta is ready for me yet. All right, so that's it. Thanks, guys.